Michigan's in a position that I don't think they were prepared for. Florida State right now, you're 3-0. You could be 4-0 after Boston College. Then you have a 3-game stretch before the bye week of Wake Forest, NC State, and Clemson. Let's say you go 1-2 in that stretch. Let's say we beat Wake, lose to NC State, lose to Clemson, or lose to Wake, lose to Clemson, beat NC State. Whatever the combination you want to do. Let's say you're 1-2 and you're 5-2 at worst entering the bye week. All of a sudden, a lot of things are in play at that point because you come back after the bye week with a Georgia Tech team that Mark and I were talking about before the show. Right now, at this point, is god awful. So you could possibly be bowl eligible even before the end of October, before you make a trip to play Miami. All of a sudden, that Miami game, that Florida game, that Syracuse game, that Louisiana Lafayette game in November, that stretch in November, 4 games, you're playing with house money because you're already bowl eligible. Now you're just trying to improve your bowl stock. You can beat Miami for a second straight year. You can beat a Florida team that, I'm sorry, Florida does not look as good as they did in the opener of the season. A lot more things could come into play. So that's why it is so important that we baby Jordan at this rate. I'm sorry.
The only way to baby him is not put him out there starting on Saturday. And I don't know. I've just off of things, and we get the perks of being there. I want Tate Rodemaker starting on Saturday just to keep things safe and manageable. There's also some other guys that I would not like to see out there on Saturday. This is a big rest week for some guys. And it's running back room time. Time to put on another show. Like, you're not going to have like what they did against Duquesne, but Trey Benson should get clicking again. I thought his urgency there in the late quarters and the second half against Louisville, definitely in that fourth quarter, was impressive to me because he wasn't having a good start to that game. Things weren't clicking. He also didn't have a great game against LSU. He just couldn't find going north at all. Trayshawn Ward's been the only one this season, and a little bit of Toa Philly on the outside, but Trey Benson's kind of been 50-50 with a few things. He kind of hit a different gear there, and so you want to see these 3 running backs. I already know what I get out of Trayshawn Ward. I understand you're a new system. We're only 3 games in, but this is the 4th game now. Trey's got to get clicking here, and I don't know if that's understanding some of the holes that he needs to be hitting. I think the biggest thing with him, he knows that he can get off tackles, but you can't keep on running east and west doing that. You got to go north eventually, and you can do the same with getting defenders off of you. But I'd like to see those 3 have a big game and not have to rely so much on your passing attack. But, Tate showed us that he can go down there and drives, and why not start him? He's going home. He's at home. You're not on the road again. You're not a night game. It's not a primetime game. You're on the friggin' ACC network playing Boston College. You're at, like I just said, you're inside Doak. It should be comfortable for him. I'd like to see him out there before Jordan Travis if JT's not fully 100%.
It should be a comfortable win. If somebody would have told me before the season started, though, that BC would be a 16.5-point dog in Florida State, I would have been like, seriously? What's going on here? Not that BC's some giant, but they were supposed to have a good team this year, 7-8 wins, but they've looked like garbage. And Florida State's obviously taken off 16.5. I will caution everyone to a certain extent that we've had either 4 to 5 games each of the last 2 weeks where a double-digit dog, like a roughly 2-touchdown underdog, is won.
Basically, what Mark's trying to do right now is he's trying to give me more anxiety heading into Saturday at 8 o'clock at night. That's exactly what he's happening.
Yeah.
I sent a tweet the other day with all the double-digit underdogs that have won already this season. It's a lot of them.